Well, we want to say thank you to everybody for taking the chance to come out here and being a part of probably one of the greatest July 22nds that the city of Auburn has ever had. The reopening of M Street. I would suggest in about an hour or so that all of you not stand there any longer. My name is Michael Hirsch, and I work with Mayor Lewis. I want to say welcome in particular to Mayor Lewis and his leadership on this project. Mayor, thank you for your direction and the long work that has been done by the City of Auburn in making sure that this reality came to be. And also recognize our Auburn City Council. Auburn City Council has a great deal of influence, not only here on Earth, but also with the weather. The weather they're responsible for, and so we'll plan on seeing all of you for every groundbreaking that we ever have here in Auburn. We want to recognize the Magnificent Seven. Deputy Mayor Nancy Backus, our council members John Holman, Wayne Osborne, John Partridge, Bill Pelosa, Largo Wales, and in particular, Rich Wagner and his long standing work and advocacy for this project. We want to recognize a couple of elected officials, some of whom are going to be speaking a little later, so we weren't going to introduce them at the moment, but let's recognize our State Senator Pam Roach from the 31st District, our State Senator Joe Fain from the 47th District, and also responsible for getting this whole thing going many, many years ago, former Mayor Chuck Booth. I always know, and I'm always very confident whenever Mayor says to me, I don't really care what the condition is one way or another, I am driving a car down the road on July 22nd. And so there was not a chance that this road was not going to be driven on today, but would you welcome with me Mayor Lewis?
Thank you very much, Michael, and thank you all for coming here today. I know that this is a day so long in coming. We've worked so many years on this. It's amazing that we finally find ourselves here. And Mayor Booth, you know, I remember sitting in that room at the brand new opening of Emerald Downs with a whole bunch of officials, and I was just a junior banker in town and had no idea what was really going on. And all the fight that was happening about Stampede Pass and M Street, out of that came the fast corridor projects. And although we might have started it, it took us a long time to finish this road. Now, when we started talking about this and BNSF decided to open the Stampede Pass rail line, we began to look at ways that we could alleviate this situation. Now, we formed the fast corridor project along with everyone else. It was the Freight Action Strategy Corridor, or FAST Corridor. And we have partnerships with the state, federal, local, port, railroad jurisdictions, and a number of projects were getting done. Now in Auburn, we had the 3rd Street Southwest, that's the Booth Bridge, Mayor Booth. And the South 277th Street on the north end. Now, we did get funding on this, as I said, from a multiple number of sources, and I thank every single one of them, all of the electeds, all of the staff, all of the changes that were made, both with our own staff and with the staff of organizations all along the Puget Sound. One of the early contributors to this, and I'm reading them off, not necessarily in order, but I'm pleased that they're here with us today as well. The Port of Seattle, the Port of Tacoma, Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad, the Washington State Transportation Improvement Board, which in government we call the TIB, the Washington State Freight Mobility and Strategic Investment Board, which we call FinCIB, the Washington State Public Works Trust Fund Board, which we hope to call again. Federal grants, King County Department of Natural Resource and Parks, Wastewater Treatment Division, and local funds. The current total project estimate is $22.3 million to get this road done. Now, as in projects that have happened all over Puget Sound, from the D Street curve in Tacoma, all the way up to Royal Rome, which is now Edgar Martinez Way in Seattle. These freight corridors have been done. The FAST projects have been completed. And in all the communities, people wondered, well, couldn't we have used this money for this road or for that road? Why isn't my street being done? And that is, as many of the officials know here today, we got specific money for specific pieces of this road. Some only could be used on the underpass. Some got used on the road surface. Some got used underneath the street. But none of it was free money or extra money that we could have used any other place. This makes a difference for our city. This makes a difference for the Puget Sound region. BNSF having the ability to open Stampede Pass when it chooses, but working with the two ports, and I'm so pleased to see him here today, working with all our transportation boards, and with a council that never, ever quit. They always kept going lockstep. And Mayor Booth, you know what I'm talking about, all through those years. Every one of the councils, again and again, supported this project. This is the result of decades of work, and I thank you all for being here. Michael, I think you're going to go ahead and get this going.
We need to recognize in particular Rich Wagner and the Public Works Committee. Rich is going to come and speak. He is the chair of that committee. We also have Vice Chair Bill Pelosa with us and Councilmember Wayne Osborne. Rich, would you come and speak?
It's really a pleasure and a thrill to open this finally. The Public Works Committee, I've been the chair there for a long time, and from when this started under Mayor Booth. And again, I want to recognize him for his vision in making this happen with the FAST corridor. There have been so many people within the city who have helped make this happen and have brought information to the Public Works Committee to support it. I see our city attorney out there, our principal planner, our environmental services manager, all kinds of people within the city who do a job every day and did a lot of work on this project to make it happen. I do have to tell you that about halfway through this, the Public Works Committee actually considered terminating it. We were in such a bind for funding, and having people like the ports and others step forward, and the TIB really pushed it over the top and made it happen. So again, thanks to all those folks who made it happen. There are hundreds involved in making this happen, and they all deserve credit.
When you have served faithfully and done as good a job as Councilmember Wagner has since 1990, representing Auburn, it's wonderful to see something like this come to fruition. Thank you, Chair Wagner. I want to recognize the usage of this road that will happen by the Auburn School District. And here to speak on behalf of the school district is Kip Herron. Kip has been in Auburn in some kind of capacity, most every capacity in the school district for 33 years. In addition to all of his most cherished roles, he was also my disciplinary principal, not one of his most cherished roles, but he's here today. Would you welcome Kip Herron?
Don't ask, don't tell. This is a delightful happening. I know the Auburn School District is looking forward to this M Street grade. The Auburn School District puts in the wheels on the bus go around almost 1.2 million miles every year, 15,000 students. We have a school board president here, Janice Nelson. I want to do her a shout out. Janice, there she is right there. I also just want to say the wheels on the bus can go around and we can make more efficient stops. We won't spend as much time at the lights, so we'll save fuel. That means the kids will be better behaved than when they're waiting on the bus. It means there'll be better stops along the way for all of our students and families to get on and off the bus. Mike Newman thanks you because he's the deputy superintendent and he has to reroute things, and we recall that it used to be, before there was a grade, before there was construction, that the buses would line up all the way through the lights on M Street, all the way down. So this is really good news, and I just would be inappropriate not to shout out to Pam Roach and to Joe Fain for giving the Auburn School District more transportation money to enjoy this great pathway. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. We want to recognize Senator Murray's office, and Uriel Ybarra is here. He is the King County Director for Senator Murray's office, and she has been a great proponent and advocate of this project. Would you welcome him also on behalf of her?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to today's celebration. I'd also like to commend the good work of the City of Auburn and its partners. Their efforts bring attention to the importance of safe, healthy communities and the need to continuously improve the corridors that connect the region and keep it competitive in today's economy. This corridor accounts for approximately 70% of Auburn's project new job growth through 2030. It supports the growth of new and existing jobs in the region. Additionally, it connects a King County housing project with public transportation. The project transforms a key location in the heart of Auburn by eliminating traffic backups and improving the movement of people and freight in the area. It also improves travel times and reduces traffic through neighborhoods. Above all else, the project will sustainably improve safety for vehicles, trains, and pedestrians and improve emergency response times. This project is the product of the Port of Seattle, the Port of Tacoma, BNSF, the Washington State Transportation Improvement Board, the Washington State Freight Mobility and Strategic Investment Board, the Washington Public Works Trust Fund, and King County, partnering together to invest in the future of this community and the region for years to come. Creating an environment that meet the safety needs of communities and the business needs of industry is one of the many steps we will take to build on this in the future. Senator Murray is proud to be one of the partners in this project. As the new budget chair in the Senate, she has made it clear that investments that keep our economy growing must continue to be part of the national conversation. I can't think of a better example of such an investment. Thank you again, and congratulations.
Thank you, Uriel. We're going to now flip the egg timer, and the next speaker gets to come up. Dan Gadget, who is the chair of the Freight Mobility Strategic Investment Board, is going to come and share. Thank you, Dan.
Thanks. My name is Dan Gadget. I'm the chair of the Freight Mobility Strategic Investment Board. First, all the stakeholder partners are here in testimony to the importance of the M Street project. Congratulations for finishing it on time and within budget. Our board has contributed $6 million to this project. PHMSA's mission is to eliminate freight choke points and mitigate freight impacts to the communities. This project does both. As an example, approximately 600 trucks per day cross M Street. The M Street project eliminates multiple daily closures that can add 15 minutes to a truck's trip. At $60 an hour for the trucking industry, it doesn't take long for PHMSA's $6 million investment to pay off. For freight rail, this project is one more step in allowing trains to travel at higher speeds. On behalf of PHMSA, we'd like to thank Senator Murray and her office for the tireless effort of supporting and finding funding for freight projects. We'd also like to thank the legislature for making PHMSA's appropriation helping to make this project possible. In closing, PHMSA has enjoyed working with the City of Auburn. Major Lewis, your staff has been top-notch to work with. Ryan, I'm not sure where he is. He deserves, and the rest of his team deserves a pat on the back. They did a great job. So thank you again for the M Street Grade Separation Project.
Thank you, Dan. We want to recognize our next speaker. He has served for the last 3 years as the chair of the Port of Seattle. He's a great commissioner, a great friend to Auburn, and has done a fantastic job in representing just the region as a whole. So would you welcome with me Bill Bryant?
Well, what a beautiful day. This is a great day to be down in Auburn. I really appreciate the opportunity. And I want to add my voice to those who have come before me and really recognize the work of so many who have come before us, and particularly the work of Mayor Lewis. Without you and the City Council, it would be very difficult for us to realize this today, and I really want to thank you as well as the leadership of Senator Fain and Senator Roach on transportation and freight mobility issues. Thank you, Senators. You know, we're very excited to be here today representing the Port of Seattle because this is the completion of what we call the Fast Corridor. This was an idea that we could begin to put together a number of transportation projects all the way from the Port of Seattle across the Cascades. And today we're celebrating not just opening the M Street underpass, but we're celebrating the completion of that corridor, which is going to allow us to keep jobs here in Washington State. You see, while we're celebrating the investments here in Auburn, there are hundreds of millions of dollars of investments going up in British Columbia so that they can move cargo from their ports to the Midwest more rapidly than we can in Puget Sound. And there are hundreds of millions of dollars being invested in Southern California so that they can do the same thing. Today, we're showing them we're in this fight. We are competing to keep jobs here in Washington State. The port has invested over $46 million in these projects. In Auburn, it includes the 3rd Street Southwest, the South 277th Street, and this M Street project. Overall, we have spent hundreds of millions of dollars in transportation projects because we want to keep the jobs here in Washington State. This is essential if we're going to be globally competitive. It's not always big pie-in-the-sky projects. It's projects on the ground like this one here at M Street. So today we're celebrating the completion of M Street, the completion of the Fast Corridor, and we're celebrating the fact that we're going to be globally competitive and keep jobs in Washington.
Thank you, Bill. Our next speaker was elected to the Port of Tacoma in 2007, serves on the Puget Sound Regional Council's Transportation Board. Would you welcome with me Don Johnson? And before I give the microphone to Dawn, I also need to just say for a moment, because she came in just a moment after Connie Bacon from Port of Tacoma.
I gave her a chance, but she declined. Good afternoon, and thank you. It's really a pleasure to be here today and celebrate the success of this project. As you know, the Port of Tacoma is a premier global trade gateway with natural deep water, intermodal integration, and room to grow. The magic word is we have a lot of room to grow. The port's connectivity and operational agility enables sustainable partnerships with customers, labor, communities, environment, and provides a catalyst for statewide economic vitality. The project we're celebrating today is symbolic of those connections and the cooperative relationship between Auburn and the Port of Tacoma. This infrastructure investment improves the physical connections for road, rail, and the freight that travel along those routes. The port is investing millions of dollars into marine terminals and rail yards, but those investments mean little if last connections like this in Auburn are ignored. That's why the Port of Tacoma was very happy to invest in this project, and we just want to close by congratulating all those partners involved with this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don. Our next speaker is from the Muckleshoot Indian Tribe, and we appreciate their partnership so very much, and her leadership in particular. She's been a longtime leader and also friend of Auburn. Before I introduce her, also we want to just say for a moment, former State Senator Claudia Kaufman is here. Hi, Claudia. Nice to see you. And John Daniels Jr. John Daniels Jr. is back there somewhere. We recognize him. Would you welcome with me Charlotte Williams from the Muckleshoot Indian Tribe?
Good afternoon. I'm happy to be here today on behalf of the Muckleshoot Tribal Council and the people of Muckleshoot to help to celebrate the completion of this project, the corridor that leads through Auburn from Seattle, really, to Mount Rainier, and it helps all of us to avoid all the congestion on Auburn Way North and Auburn Way South. And as one of the most utilized corridors for the tribal community, M Street is critically important to the tribe's economic health. It's an important access route to our casino, the bingo hall, the amphitheater, and also for those students who commute to our tribal college and also to Green River Community College. It not only connects our community, but it relieves the congestion on State Route 164, the road that runs from here to Mount Rainier. But in addition to improving the traffic flow and the mobility and safety, this project also stands as a great example of what can be accomplished when we work together in partnership to improve our community. So on behalf of the Muckleshoot Tribal Council and the tribe, I extend the tribe's appreciation and thanks to Mayor Lewis and the Auburn City Council and all the governments, the agencies, and businesses represented here today for helping to make this project a success.
Charlotte, it's great to see you. I've known Charlotte a long time and glad to see your face here today. Thank you. We want to continue moving at the speed we're moving at. This is fantastic. There might be opportunity for some of you to speak who aren't even listed here. Mayor, do you think that's a good idea? We want to ask Terry Finn, who's the Director of Government Relations, and is this true, Rich Wagner, who's the Manager of Public Projects for Burlington Northern? Rich is not here. This project is so big, it took 2 Rich Wagners to get it done. Would you please welcome with me, Terry?
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I just want to congratulate Mayor Lewis, Mayor Booth. I've been around long enough that I remember even when Mayor Booth was formulating plans for this project, and Mayor Lewis has certainly pounded hard and heavy to complete the M Street project, which did take a long time and a lot of planning and a lot of, how shall I say, a lot of negotiation between the city, the railroad, and all the partners. Appreciate that a lot. You know, 50, 60, 70 years ago, the Great Northern Railroad was the largest employer in the city of Auburn, along with the Milwaukee Railroad, and this was a town created by railroads and the junction of railroads, and it's now we've had a resurgence of rail shipping that's very important. As we try to move forward and grow the economy of the state, we have to ask ourselves a basic question: how are we going to do that in the greenest possible manner with fuel spike costs and all the other stuff, congestion that's happening today? And we think at BNSF that the way to do that is for a larger share of goods to be shipped by rail. And certainly M Street is going to do that. We have the right of way to expand our rail network in the state of Washington. As business improves, we plan on doing that. But at least the good citizens of Auburn and all the people that come through here won't have to wait for trains at M Street anymore, so we're really happy about that. Let me just thank also U.S. Senator Patty Murray for her work, Senators Fain and Roach who are here. We all mentioned former Senator Kaufman, and there's also former Representative Eric Robertson out in the crowd, who was one of the original team that helped vote the Freight Mobility Board into existence and plan for the Fast Corridor projects. I appreciate that very much. Council members, and I also want to call out a couple of staff. One is Jacob Sweeting of the City of Auburn for his work on the agreement issues surrounding this project. And again, Ryan Vondrak for the construction supervision. So appreciate it very much. Thank you for having us here, and safe travels.
Thank you, Terry. I want to ask Steve Gorchester, who's the Executive Director for the State of Washington Transportation Improvement Board, to come. Would you welcome Steve?
Thank you. I'm pretty sure that 2-minute speaker limit was about me, so I've got to really speed it up here. TIB is a state grant agency for local government. We receive our revenue from 3 cents of the state gas tax, and we're pleased to bring over $2.6 million of that back to Auburn for this project. One of the reasons we funded this project was because we had received back an unprecedented amount of TIB funds from low bids on other projects. And Mayor Lewis said there's no such thing as free money, but some of the best transportation money is the money you don't have to spend. We needed to get that money rolled back out to projects, and we did that through our Rapid Action Initiative. We funded 17 major transportation projects around the state. This was one of them. They should not all have gone to construction. Things just don't happen that fast in the transportation business, but every single one of them went to construction the first spring, and are all being completed right now this summer. So we're very proud of the ability of our customers to turn that money around and roll it straight back out. The TIB has about 350 projects statewide, so as you can imagine, some of them have trouble getting themselves done. We like to recognize the ones that do get finished with these project completion plaques, and I'm going to very fast forward present this to Mayor Lewis, if he'll step over here. And I know I'm not even going to bother reading it because of the time, but congratulations on completing the project. Thank you.
We want to recognize the City of Auburn's Public Works Department, who did a fantastic job in managing this project start to finish, and would like to ask Ryan Vondracht, who's the project manager, to come and just recognize some of our partners in this effort. Here is Ryan.
Thank you all for attending this special event. We're very excited about this project. There are a lot of people who deserve recognition that were involved with the construction of this great project. This truly was a great team effort. I want to thank Roger Mason and his team from CH2M Hill. CH2M Hill provided the city with construction management services on this project. Scarcella Brothers was our contractor. I want to thank them and their subcontractors for their efforts, particularly in these last few weeks when we were really pushing hard to get this roadway opened up for today. I want to thank the BNSF Railway for their participation and cooperation in this project. Likewise, I want to thank PSE, Comcast, and CenturyLink for their cooperation as well. And City of Auburn staff, I'm blessed to work with some very great people, and I just thank you for your time and the work you put in to help support this project. And lastly, I want to thank all the residences, property owners, and businesses in the area who've been extremely patient with us during this time. We really hope you enjoy your new road. Thank you.
Well said. Thank you, Ryan. Last but not least on our speaker agenda today, representing the economic impact and just really what this means for Auburn as a community, is our Auburn Area Chamber of Commerce President and CEO, who we love very much, and we just call her Nancy Wyatt.
Thank you very much, everybody. The Auburn Area Chamber of Commerce, our mission is advancing business, promoting the economy, and connecting communities. And as what you heard today is that I just want to commend the City of Auburn and the council and the mayors, plural, how tenacious to get this project done. And what you heard over and over again, that these were critical partnerships with the rail line, with the ports, with state government and federal government. This would not have been possible without those partnerships, and how critical it is for our businesses. And I just want to say thank you so much for your tenacity.
Thank you, Nancy. We're on a loop that we've got a time for every speaker to speak for one more minute, and so we're going to invite them all back. No, just kidding. Just Mayor Lewis gets to come back and talk one more time. Mayor Lewis.
Thank you very much. We have an opportunity here. We talk about next steps. This it was one of the first projects of the newly energized Fast Corridor. It's one of the last projects as well, but we need to understand in this region, as we do throughout Valley cities, the cities of Tukwila, Renton, Kent, Auburn, Algona Pacific, Sumner, Puyallup, and Fife. the fourth largest warehouse distribution manufacturing center in the United States. If we do not continue the work that started with FAST, if we do not build those final roads to connect our two ports, if we do not invest in our infrastructure as our parents and their parents did before us, then we will become a backwater port. We will become the place where the trucks come to from Canada, from Los Angeles, from Mexico. Not the jobs, not the businesses, they'll be there. Our funding partners understand this. Our great partners, the Muckleshoot Tribe, understands this and knows the economic benefit. Our ports know the need for partnerships, and I hope to see those partnerships continue and prosper. All throughout this region, we are so trade dependent, and this new project, this new partnership, this new freight package needs to continue, and with the opening of the M Street underpass, we need to begin the next step to connect our region and to ensure that our ports become the most successful in the United States.
1, 2, 3. Move that bus!
With that, M Street is open and stays open. Thank you very much.